tonight. You're about to have a really good time, and it's sure to make you smile. On the bus, in the car, on the AirPods without wires. Rank it up on the worksite, it's the Bad and Liam podcast. Bad and Liam podcast.
G'day there, podcaster.
Yeah, this one pretty much has it all. I mean, it's got a parody song in the middle there. It's got information about the dark web. Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing you're going to hear is a good deed. We really do good deeds in this show. You know, some people they really lean into the good deed.
I must admit, the good deed hook doesn't really sell me.
Well, it's your bit.
Yeah, I know. I think it's a good bit, but if I heard there's a good deed coming up, I wouldn't be compelled to listen to a good deed.
Well, it's a heartwarming good deed. Is that better?
Yeah.
Your heart will be warmed within the next 5 minutes. Enjoy.
Liam, I'm about to repay a stranger's kindness.
Are you trying to say pay it forward without referencing the film starring Kevin Spacey?
I wasn't. But my dad was telling me a story yesterday. He was at a mate's place and he had his iPad and they were outside and he was showing his mate some photos on the iPad because he's in his 60s.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And he is the type of guy that's happy to have an iPad in his pocket of his cargo pants. For sure.
So he had the iPad out, he's flicking through these photos, showing his mate. After they were done chatting, he put it down on the bull bar of the car.
Right.
Just left it resting there.
That's a risky spot to put an iPad, I must admit.
It is, and you can see where this is going. They wrap up the chat, he jumps in the car, he drives home. He realises just before he gets home, shit, I left the iPad
Of course.
on the bull bar.
Yeah.
And so he's fuming because he's going, well, I've lost that forever now. It's a fairly new iPad as well. And then his phone rings.
Right.
No caller ID. He answers it. And he says, hello. And it was an elderly woman.
Right.
And she said, is this Murray Harvey?
Yeah.
And he said, yes, speaking. She said, did you lose your iPad? And he said, I did. Have you found it? And she said, yeah, I found it in the middle of Port Wakefield Road.
What, an undamaged?
Undamaged.
It's
in the
fallen
middle.
off a bull bar going 110.
Yep. And then Dad said, well, how did you get my number? How did you call me? And she said, oh, well, I guessed your code.
What?
Dad's code for his iPad was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yes. No one's going to work that one out. Hidden in plain sight, Murray. I see what you've done. No, I'm sure the US government would do a lot of that with their protected secrets and stuff as well.
So I think obviously like a funny story, that's Dad's code, but also a very nice story in that this elderly woman, she found the iPad, then got into the iPad. So now
the code.
She cracked the code. She's got a free iPad. She'd be loving this. But then she was nice enough to find Dad's number, then call him. And she waited on the side of Playford Road for Dad to drive back to meet her to get the iPad back.
We should buy that woman an iPad.
That's what I pitched to the producers and they said it was too expensive.
Really? Because that seems like where this is going. It seems like the obvious.
Yeah. I have got her number.
Oh, good.
It's punched in now. The best I could get from Nova Bosses was $250 in Dota Spa voucher.
It's not going to get you an iPad, is it?
It's still pretty good, though.
Yeah, it's better than nothing. Better than a kick in the shins.
All right, I don't know what her name is. I punched the number in. Let's give her a buzz and pay the good karma forward.
Hello, Nicole speaking.
Oh, g'day, Nicole. My name's Ben calling. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Did you find an iPad recently?
Why? I'm confused how you got my number.
So that was my dad's iPad, and I was just giving you a buzz.
Oh, okay. No, that's right. I'm like, how did you get my number?
Yeah. No, I didn't find your iPad or anything like that.
It freaked me out.
No, that's okay. Understandable. So my name's Ben, and I do a radio show with Liam, Ben and Liam on Nova.
Hi, how you doing?
Good.
So Dad told me the story about how you found his iPad. So we thought we would return the favour. We didn't get you an iPad. but we did get you a $250 in Dota Spa voucher so you can reward yourself for doing some good things.
Is this a joke?
No, it's real.
How did you get my phone number, though?
Because my dad gave it to me.
I rang him, didn't I?
You did, yeah. So I got his number.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
so...
I don't know if this true or not, but thank you.
No, it's true. I mean, do you know the show Ben and Liam on Nova?
I do, absolutely. absolutely, yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good.
It'd be a pretty weird prank for us to pull to get some random intel that you'd found an iPad and be like, now we're going to call her and pretend to give her a spa voucher.
So so Dad reckons that you just guessed the code.
Yes, I did, because it's so easy, so I thought I'll just quickly try it, which I did, and then obviously I got his phone number. So
Yeah.
I was going to tell him actually maybe to change his PIN.
Yeah. To be
Yeah.
fair, Nicole, if you're silly enough to lose an iPad in the middle of Port Wakefield Road, you're probably silly enough to make your code 123456.
So, Nicole, did you at any point think of stealing it, going, I might take this?
No, because what would I do with it? So
Yeah, you could sell it.
Oh, yeah, true. Chuck it on eBay or something.
no, we figured that it was it had a hard cover and it was someone's for business. So I'd never do that.
Good on you.
I wouldn't say it was business, though. It was Dad's, just for showing his
I think
mates
he's got photos of his rock crushing machine. And did you have a look at any of the photos on there?
Well, look, Nicole, we thought because of your kindness, we'd pay it forward, and we'll give you a $250 Endota Spa voucher, okay?
Okay, all right, no worries.
All right. You have a good day, Nicole.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, Nicole. Still felt weird that we gave her an Endota Spa voucher. You know what I mean? Like, she's probably like, at every point it seemed like we were going to give her an iPad.
I also felt bad saying she was an elderly woman. She didn't sound that old.
She sounded like at least 30.
Hey, whether you've been craving the ocean, snow, mountains, or city lights, there are so many possibilities for you and your next trip.
Make up for missed holidays and explore more of Oz with whatif.com.
Jump online or on the What If app.
What if? It's Aussie for travel.
It's 6:10. Hallelujah, it's 6:10.
Monica in Blackwood, how you doing?
Hey boys, not too bad. How are you?
Yeah, you're our only caller this morning. We're very well, but just for getting on air, you are in the draw for Nova's first class and 50k. Well, let's kick in to this quiz. Lisa Curry was revealed as the caterpillar on The Masked Singer last night. Just out of interest, do you know who Lisa Curry is?
Oh, not off the top of my
Yeah,
head.
no, don't feel bad. I mean, neither do
Sorry.
we. No. What insect does a caterpillar turn into?
A butterfly.
The World Dog Surfing Championships were held yesterday. The dogs are judged on technique, confidence, and length of ride. Can you name one famous surfing dog? No, just give us a human, actually. It's too hard.
I'm not really into the surfing world, I'm sorry. But there was a movie. Oh, for God's sake, I can't even remember her name.
Soul Surfer. The Soul Surfer, yeah.
Soul Surfer, yeah.
Yeah, you can't just say a name of a movie about surfing. You can't think of one famous surfer, like the one that punched the shark?
No, I'm so sorry.
All
Sorry,
right, Mon,
Monica.
we're going to have to move on to Dylan. Do you know any famous surfers?
No, I don't. Oh, I wasn't ready.
Oh, you weren't ready?
you weren't
You
ready.
called up.
Yeah. I don't know how you're going to be any more ready than calling up, but
We didn't call
he
you.
wasn't ready. Andy, do you know any famous surfers?
No.
No, okay. There'd be so many like chiller, like Byron heads listening to this sort of podcast going, God, Adelaide's full of noobs.
Ryan, a famous surfer. Give us a name.
Kelly Slater.
That's it. That's probably the one that comes front of mind for most people, I would say. But yeah, very well done. Frozen the musical wrapped up here in Adelaide on Sunday. 110,000 people went to go and see it, which is crazy. Did you?
Yes.
Did you enjoy the show?
It was actually pretty good.
Yeah, no, we went too. We liked it. Well, a stripper from Las Vegas is auctioning Prince Harry's underwear from 10 years ago. Can you name the famous hotel in Las Vegas named after a Greek emperor?
Oh, far out. Aristotle?
Did you say McDonald's?
No, Aristotle.
Oh, no. Nope. No. Anna, do you know the famous hotel in Vegas named after the Greek emperor? There's a line about it, very famous in the movie The Hangover.
It's also a salad.
Caesar's?
Caesar's Palace? Does the real Caesar live here? Okay, last one. With the sad news of Olivia Newton John's passing and in celebration of her, can you finish these famous Grease lyrics? Are you in an echoey room right right now, Anna, because the reverb, like the vocals sounded incredible. It sounds like you're calling through from the Opera House.
That was beautiful.
That was really good.
Thanks, guys.
No, thank you.
All right, you get to choose the next song we play, Anna. Would you like to hear Liam's song this morning, which is a great one?
Savage Garden. Or would you like to hear what Ben served up?
What do you want to hear, Anna?
Both so strong, but I'm going to go for Savage Garden.
Oh, yeah. No, it does feel like a savage kind of morning. Well, this is Affirmation.
Peace up, Pod Town.
Trying to find where I put my darned key. Ah, here it is. Ben and I both need to turn our keys at the same time to open up the forbidden folder. Do this every week. It's where we keep all the stuff that the boss has said no to in the past, and I love this one.
I am fascinated by what we're about to talk about.
Have you ever been on the dark web? You know this internet that's like the sewers of the normal internet?
Well,
and it's like hard to get into.
It's the yin to the internet's yang. It's the evil cousin to the internet.
You can buy drugs, you can buy weapons. I think anything goes is the general consensus. I've never been on it. I don't know, I'm sure there's a lot of bad stuff on it, but I feel like without knowing too much about it, I kind of want to see it. Like, I just want to say I've seen it.
Yeah, and it's strange because growing up, you would think you would come into a situation where one of your friends or someone you know would have access to the dark web, but I've never seen it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't know how to get on it.
I'm not friends with a lot of hackers.
Yeah.
You know, and people with that sort of
But
software.
I don't think you need to be a hacker to get on it.
You gotta know
anyone.
You gotta know a bit of stuff about computers, though, right? Like when Microsoft Word updates, I forget how to like put the tables in and that sort of stuff.
I think
So,
you know what I mean.
Like,
Obviously, there's like Google Chrome or Safari. I think you just need a certain browser to get on there. I don't think it's like rocket science.
I thought you needed like a little machine, like a powerful machine to get in there.
I don't think so. I don't know.
Well, this is the thing.
These are the questions.
These are some of the questions we have about the dark web. Now, obviously, you're probably going to want to remain anonymous if you do go on there regularly, because chances are you're probably tied up with something illegal.
Not necessarily, though. Just because you're on there doesn't mean
you're not going on there to
illegal.
play Line Rider, are you? You can do that on the normal internet.
I don't know what you're on there for.
I'm pretty sure you're on there for bad stuff if you're on the dark web. I don't think you're just on there to just muck around.
Well, give us a buzz. 13 24 10. Have you ever been on the dark web?
Maybe you've just seen it. Like you've been around someone who was on it at the time.
Yeah.
What was it like? What did you see? Is it different to the normal sort of Google browsers that we're sort of privy to?
Is it dark? I don't know.
Author Eileen Ormsby joins us now. Good morning, Eileen. How are you?
Good morning. I'm well. How are you?
Yeah, can't complain. Now, some of our listeners would have heard of the dark web. Some wouldn't have. In a nutshell, what is the dark web?
It's like a parallel World Wide Web. So it's just really the name that we give to the websites that can't be searched for or accessed on the regular web, or what we might call the clear web. So to get to these websites, you need a special software, and the most common software is called Tor. And once you've downloaded that, it'll open up a browser window that looks just like your normal browser window.
Yeah.
But the difference is that browser window can access websites that your normal browser can't access. So if you were to put that URL into the address bar of your normal browser, it'll just come up as page not found.
I mean, can I ask, Eileen, obviously you're quite knowledgeable on this, but have you been on it yourself? Have you had a bit of a squiz?
I've been on it pretty much every day for the last 10 years.
Oh, my God. Right. So you've got the software. Is it like eBay for drugs?
Yeah, well, look, the main websites on the dark web are what we call the darknet markets, and they are literally like eBay or Amazon for drugs.
Wow.
You go on there and you see these pretty pictures of all these drugs that you could possibly pop into your basket. You pop them into your basket. You check out the feedback from people that have already bought them, and then you can buy those drugs and have them sent directly to your home.
Wow. It's crazy how they haven't been able to properly crack down on it. I mean, you sort of hear stories about weapons and stuff as well. Could you feasibly, in Australia, buy a hand grenade from the dark web, Eileen?
No, and not average Joe. Like, if you had the right sort of terrorist connections and that sort of thing, then, you might use the dark web to do that. But you can't go and find a market where you can pop a hand grenade into your basket and have it shipped to you.
Okay.
Or if you did find it, it's someone scamming you.
Gotcha. And so if I was to go on the dark web, my fear would be that in 5 minutes it'd be a knock at my door and it'd be the police.
Yeah, well, no, it wouldn't be a knock at the door. It'd be a ram raid through the door, and then the helicopters, and then the AFP smashing through the windows on those rappel ropes.
Is that a thing?
No, that's not a thing at all, and that's exactly why criminals use the dark web, is because, of course, law enforcement can hop on there and they can see all these drug deals taking place, but they have no way of tracking down the people on either side of those transactions.
Because obviously you're not a dirty crim, you're just studying this. But I would say if they could tell, you'd be looking pretty dodgy at the moment if you've been on the dark web for every day for the last 10 years, Eileen. They'd be like, there's something up with this woman.
I mean, why can't they shut the dark web down? Obviously they're trying to do it. Is it an impossible task?
To shut down the dark web itself, well, there's nothing illegal about the dark web.
Yeah.
So the software, which you use to access it, was actually developed in conjunction with the US military to protect military secrets.
Really?
So there's a lot of good reasons for it. Whistleblowers use it to upload documents to make sure that they can't be traced back to them.
Right.
It's just that, like with any great tool, criminals will also know how to use it.
They've weaponized it.
So, and that's the thing. Realistically, how much of it is just being used for like the worst possible crimes?
All right, well, if you're talking about the worst possible crimes, that is a large part of the dark web.
Yep.
Some people have put it at like 25%. That is probably the worst thing about the dark web, is that it has provided this meeting place for these people to go that they would never have had before. 10 years ago, if you had these predilections, there's no way you could tell other people or find your tribe. Whereas now, they can find each other, and it normalises that behaviour.
Is it, when you're on the dark web, it might be a silly question, is it darker? Like, is it?
Yeah,
it
is it like in the incognito tab?
Yeah, is it
which
gloomy?
I've also never used.
No, it looks very. It just looks like a normal browser.
Okay,
you can't tell any difference except for what you can find.
Right.
Eileen, is there anything like, where you think it's weapons and that sort of stuff? Is there any cool sort of things on the dark web that we don't know about that's just like a weird little thing that you've stumbled across in your 10 years?
Look, there's all sorts of interesting forums and conspiracy sites and cult sites. Those I find those sorts of things really fascinating.
Yeah.
There's a lot of scam sites, so especially the biggest ones are the Hitman sites. So you can go in there and find these really slick, interesting sites where you can be teamed up with a hitman in your area.
Yeah.
But they're really designed to take gullible, Bitcoin from gullible people. So there are a lot of interesting things to see. The other big myth is the red room. And yes, you can find red rooms. And by red room, I mean a place where you can go and watch in real time someone get tortured to death. And if you pay enough cryptocurrency, you can actually put some of the tortures in there to give to them. That's a myth. Again, it's a myth. It's not a real thing that happens on there. So you can find them. And but it's just like an interactive horror story. Really, it's not a real thing.
Is it all cryptocurrencies? Is there no real cash exchange? Well, it's a real cash, but like, is there no physical cash exchange? It's all crypto.
It's all crypto. Because that is the easiest way to make instant transactions online.
Yeah, right.
Oh, man. Well, this has been such a fascinating chat. Eileen Ormsby is the author of The Darkest Web, Silk Road, and other books. Silk Road is the most fascinating thing ever, by the way. If you haven't read about that, I mean, do yourself a favour. I mean, I think we could talk to you all day, Eileen, but thank you for answering some of our questions about the dark web this morning on Nova.
Thanks so much for having me, Ben and Liam.
Little exercise for you this morning. Not if you're driving. Don't check your phone if you're driving. But if you're listening on the app or something like that, check your phone. How many unreplied text messages are there right now on your phone?
I've got 0. I've replied to all my text messages.
I've got 14 there at the moment, Ben.
14 unread text messages?
Yeah, but that's just from last night. I think I'm in a lot of conversations with people that I don't end. Wow. You know what I mean? It's just like always going. Abbey from our news department, she put a screenshot of a news story into our sort of group chat yesterday, and we saw horrors within that screenshot that send chills down your spine. Abbey joins us now. Good morning. Would you like to tell everyone how many unreplied messages you have?
855.
So you say 855?
Yes.
Why? How? Who? When?
Well, okay, so like, you know, when you get you get text messages all the time for this is your one-time passcode, this is Dad, sorry if you're listening, your Afterpay passcode one-time login or whatever.
Yeah.
So I get them and I just don't open them. But there's probably people in there that I've not replied to that I should have.
It's so messy because then when you actually get a message from someone you want to get a message from, you don't know because you've got so much clutter that you're not going to notice you've got a message, Abby.
Yeah, but it comes up the top so I can see who's messaged me and whether I need to reply to them or not.
Can't you mark as read or just clear them out? Why do you need all that junk? All those sort of texts flying around?
To be honest, I think when we got over 500, it gives me anxiety to look at it, so I just ignore the problem and pretend it's not there.
You got to go through. I'll do it for you. Just delete.
Yeah, and I mean, you say over 500, you're at the 800 mark. We were talking about it yesterday, and from my memory, it was around the 500 text mark, but I didn't quite realise it was at 800. But we keeping that in mind, Abby, we really need to get you to change your ways, and we thought the only way we could do that is through song.
When she wakes up, well, she looks at her phone. There's no chance that Abby will respond to you. Scrolls through Insta and checks her TikTok too. Sees a minion meme on Facebook from Aunt Prue. Updates LinkedIn, flicks through BBC World News, does a Wordle and then tweets about her views. Reads her emails, puts on a true crime podcast, spends the rest of the day ignoring you. 'Cause Abby has got 500 texts and Abby will have 500 more before she decides to reply to one message her iPhones and I saw. Check your inbox, check your inbox. Mark out red. Sort it out.
Sort it out, Abby.
Do you know how many messages I've just had?
Well, open them. Open them.
Reply to your friends.
And Dad's just written, yes, I am listening. I'm in trouble now when I get home.
Abby joins us now. This is your mum. You're 14 years old. What's your mum doing on her phone?
Hi, Ben and Liam. Yeah, so my mum doesn't swipe up once she's opened an app, so she has 100 apps still open on her phone.
No. Oh, God.
Mum.
You got to swipe them away after.
Sorry.
Yeah. Ebony, so you're young, you're 14, so you wouldn't have been around this era, but what really used to annoy me about Mum is when Instagram first came out, you couldn't zoom on it. And mums would always go, give it here, and they'd try and zoom, and then they'd end up double-liking someone's photo, and you go, oh, no.
That is a good one. Thank you very much. Nicole joins us now. Good morning, Nicole. What is the annoying phone habit?
Good morning, Ben and Lee. Well, I'm dobbing myself in because I'm the one that sets alarms for every single thing that I need to do every single day.
So
my whole family hate it. They just say, my God, what are you thinking? Why do I need alarms for everything?
How minute is it? Is it like, oh, time to brush my teeth, my alarm's gone off, or is it?
Yep.
Really?
Yep, it's like that. Yep.
So just looking at your phone today.
Someone.
We're not really on the same page here. I think we'll just leave it there. Moving on, Ash from Royal Park. This is your fiance. Annoying phone habits.
Yeah, hi Ben and Liam. My fiance won't hang up the phone when we've finished having a conversation.
What do you mean?
He just puts it in his pocket.
He's just done it and hung up.
My dad does that. They just forget. They just assume you're going to do it.
Yeah, so we'll just wrap up the conversation, and then he'll just continue going about his day and then leave me to hang the phone up.
which is funny, but it's also good because you're getting a little bit of insight.
Yeah, be honest.
What's
Ash,
he saying after?
Be honest. Do you sometimes hang on a little bit longer just to see what he's up to?
Oh, yeah, for sure. If he's at work, I want to know what he's doing.
Yeah, just snoop around, see who he's having lunch with.
That bit's done. Here's another one.
Really exciting announcement at this time yesterday, Ben. I was saying, hey, I want to do an Adelaide mural. You're on board. So basically we get a big wall somewhere in Adelaide and we just fill it with all the iconic things that we know and love in this state. A bit of a shrine, if you will, to South Australia.
How have you gone finding the wall, Liam?
Yeah, well, wall hunt's going well. Chasing up a lot of leads, got a lot of walls. Turns out a lot easier than you would think to get.
Well, it makes sense. There's a lot of walls.
So many walls.
Yeah.
And so many people just willing to let you spray paint on those walls.
Yep.
For free. So that's great. I don't have a specific wall locked in, but that's only because there is so many choices that I'm flicking through.
Right.
Thousands of entries. But I suppose maybe now we should shift our attention to the most important part of this process. What's going to be on the wall?
That is an important question.
Well, obviously, iced coffee is going to be on the wall because they've sponsored it, which is great. Try the legend without the lactose for yourself with new Farmers Union iced coffee, lactose free. It's a Farmers Union iced coffee or it's nothing. I think they have earned their stripes to be on the icon wall of South Australia. I think that's completely fair.
We would love your help, though, because as South Australians, we're very passionate about what our icons are, so you know them better than anybody. If you want to give us a suggestion, 13 24 10 is our number. You get on air, you're in the draw for Nova's First Class and 50K. Liam, do you want to get the ball rolling? What do you think is going to be on this wall besides Farmers Union Ice Coffee?
Look, I think people will probably say pie floater because that's like a South Australian thing.
Yep.
I particularly have never had one because the idea of mushy peas have never really appealed to me.
Did you know the Parkside Hotel, it's a fancy pub.
Yeah, it's real flash.
Did you know they do a fancy pie floater? I saw this on TikTok yesterday and I was blown away. So I haven't had it, but it's a giant pie.
Yeah.
And it's got a whole lamb shank in there with a bone sticking out, and you pull the bone out the lamb shank pie.
If that only sounds good because of the lamb shank, not the mushy peas,
Yeah,
is what I'm
yeah,
trying
yeah,
to say.
that's true.
I could do with that meal without the peas.
What about the bikey flute guy who busks on Rundle Mall?
That guy, yeah, he's great. He's been there for years.
Or the Shields guy who, I don't think he works at Shields anymore. but
Zammels. Yeah.
Zammels, is it?
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Zammels guy.
Yeah, he was one of our mystery voices once. Yeah. Well, yeah, look, there's so many potential options.
You haven't said one yet. I've been saying all of them. There's the Magician Bunker on South Road.
It's too much of a deep cut. No one knows that.
No, people do know that.
Yeah, there's a bunker where magicians do magic underneath it.
Charlotte joins us now in North Haven. Good morning. What do you want to see on the mural?
Morning, boys. I'm thinking Balfour's frog cake.
Just a frog cake.
Have you ever had a frog cake?
I have. My last name is actually Balfour, so.
Say my last name frog cake.
yeah, I was like, that would actually blow my nose. Yeah, my last name's Frog Cake.
Have you got any connection to Balfour's or?
I'm always asked that, but no.
No connection. Yeah, you should have lied. Cooler story. But yeah, no, I must admit, frog cakes are also iconically South Australian, but I've never had one. But these are the sorts of things that would get a run, that's for sure.
13 24 10 is our number. Give us a buzz if you have a suggestion for the Adelaide Icons mural.
Kirby in Bunapara West, what would you like to see on the wall?
Hey guys, I just thought the giant rocking horse because my kids absolutely love it.
I mean, it's classic. Yeah, it's a classic. Perhaps we could have someone riding the rocking horse. Who do you think's like a big Adelaide figure who we could have riding it? Is there anyone that sort of comes to mind? The first sort of real Adelaide person that you think of?
I immediately go to football players. Is that a bad thing?
No, that's fine. I mean, it's a real footy town.
Have you got a favourite footy player?
I don't have a favourite. My kids are heavily into football, so I obviously watch a lot of it, but the first person who pops to my head is Tex.
You put Tex Walker up there on the rocking horse.
Tex riding the rocking. I mean, the Port fans will hate it.
Yep.
Tex in a Port kit.
Yeah.
That's too weird. It's too confusing. Too confusing.
Debbie in Glenelg North, good morning. What would you like to see on this Adelaide Icons mural?
Villies.
Oh yeah, just a pie, just a Villies pie, which goes well next to a nice coffee as well.
Yeah, well, actually, there's the mural on the Villies building on South Road of Villy himself.
Yeah, well, that's true.
So I don't know if we want to do like two murals of Villy.
Mayor Lee joins us now from Hope Valley. What would you like to see on the Adelaide Icons mural?
I think Popeye.
Oh, it's a classic. It's a classic. Could even maybe the iced coffee's like sort of pouring out, and the Popeyes in the iced coffee.
I've never been on the Popeye. I'm aware of what it is, but I've never actually
I think
ridden it.
I think I've been on there when I was like 8 or something.
Right.
It's not like something you do every weekend, is it? But
I would like to see the pedalos on there.
Oh, the pedalos are good. Keisha from Woodville. What do you want to see on this Adelaide Icons wall?
You've got to have Guy Sebastian.
You do. I mean, it's not really even...
Maybe Guy Sebastian's the one potentially...
To ride the horse.
Yeah, it all links back in. Yeah, are we thinking OG go the fro guy, like when we were
Oh,
first...
you have to go the fro.
Yeah.
He's got like a Villie's pie in his hair.
Somewhere, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we could get Guy down there to do a couple of... I mean, he'd be charging way too much, I think. I don't know if we could get Guy to officially open the mural.
All right, these are all amazing suggestions. You can keep them coming through on the text line 0400 919 919. Feel free to think outside the box as well. We're looking for Adelaide icons, people, things that Adelaide is known for. Text us 0400 919 919 because we want to keep these suggestions coming through for things we can paint on this Adelaide icons wall.
Liam Pod Men Cast. Wait, I said that wrong. Ben and Liam Podcast.
What's trending?
Trending all over the internet.
Twitter. Instagram.
Welcome to Facebook.
Hey guys, well, sad news we're all waking up to this morning. Olivia Newton John has passed away. She was 73. We know she's had a long battle with breast cancer, and she was surrounded by family and friends at her home in Southern California. And tributes have been flooding in all morning online. You've got Barbara Streisand, Kevin Rudd, Anthony Albanese, just to name a few. But the biggest one that everyone was waiting for was obviously John Travolta to speak out. And he has posted on his Instagram this morning saying, "My dearest Olivia, you made all of our lives so much better. Your impact was incredible. I love you so much." And at the end, he signs off with, "You're Danny, you're John." But did you guys know that, you know, she won 3 Grammys by the age of 25, and that was before Grease. Grease was her breakout role, but she had her whole music career before that. She actually even, if you didn't know, performed on behalf of UK in Eurovision 1974. That she almost turned down the role of Sandy in Grease,
Really?
and only because
Really?
of John Travolta persuading her after he met her, "No, you are perfect for the role," and he wanted her to be in it, that she did it.
Oh, wow. There you go. I never knew that.
And moving on this morning, spoiler alert for Masked Singer fans.
Stop giving
Didn't we
spoiler
say
alerts.
yesterday there was no spoiler alerts necessary?
I'm sticking to my spoiler alerts for those of you that have recorded and are yet to watch last night's episode. The caterpillar was revealed last night, and it was Lisa Curry.
It's Australian sporting legend Lisa Curry! Oh my God!
Are you putting in Masked Singer stories just to annoy me?
Did
it's
you
working.
watch her covering Tones and I, Cloudy Day?
No.
I didn't know.
No, we did not.
You know the answer to that.
Now that I'm older, these moments, will I live with them or just throw them away?
Very auto-tune.
Away. But your mama always said.
I can't be the only one who was thinking this morning, seeing the articles, who's Lisa Curry? Like, I was sort of looking up going, hey?
Well, we did get offered her to chat to, and
Did we?
yes.
Do you know what my favourite thing
Locked it in
is?
for the end of the show, actually.
Yeah, of course we did. Mel B pretending like she knows who Lisa Curry is textbook. That is actually great television.
That's why we do love the show. And finally, you can now buy Prince Harry's used underwear.
What?
From 10 years ago. There is a former stripper in Las Vegas who met Prince Harry 10 years ago in 2012, and apparently he did do a bit of a strip routine for her, and took them off and gave them to her. She has kept Prince Harry's underwear for 10 years and is now selling them. The starting bid, it's happening on Thursday, starting bid is $10,000, but she has said that a portion of the auction proceeds will go to Harry and Meghan's charity.
Oh, well, that's sweet. I'm sure he'll have fun explaining that to me. What's that? I don't know. And if you're more of a Philip girl, a Las Vegas stripper is also selling one of his incontinence nappies that he took off in a routine a few years ago. So that's exciting. Ben, I think I sat next to the worst person possible in the cinema over the weekend. I went to go and see Top Gun. Such a cool movie. It's not the plane, it's the pilot. Just Maverick, just shooting around. Blowing planes out of the sky.
You mentioned it yesterday. I didn't realise it was still in the cinemas.
Yeah, no, it's still there. And look, I don't know about you. I don't know how you feel about this, but I really hate it when people don't sit in their seats that they've selected.
Your assigned seat.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I prefer the good old days where you just sit wherever, but now the system's changed, people have to change, and you just follow the rules. So we walked into the cinema and there was two ladies in our seats, and I didn't say anything because I don't really like, confrontation, so we just sort of sat a little further down. But inevitably, what's going to happen?
Oh, yeah.
Then someone else is going to walk in and you're in their seats, and that's what happened. And it was a little bit of an older couple. And she came in at like level 10 anger already and just blasted me. And she's like, "What are you doing? You're in our seats. These are our seats. We're on 10 and 11. And I was like, yeah. I was trying to calm her down. She's like, "Can you get out of our seats?" And I said, "The only reason we're in your seats is because those people are in our seats." So then I got up and tried to move those people from our seats, and then she wouldn't move. And she said, "No, we're already here now."
She didn't move.
And I was like, "Look, well, and then I was saying, "Can you please move down?" And she's like, we're already like, "Can you sit somewhere else?" And I was like, "No, these are our seats." And then what they did is they scooched down two, and then we were packed in between two people, even though it was like a half-filled cinema. But I didn't want to go like 4 rows back because then it would be really awkward if someone else came and we were in their seats. So we were stuck next to these two idiots. And I thought, like, I was already angry about the whole situation because I was just like, just at that point, just sit up and go to your seat.
I'm at a 10.
Yeah, literally. And then I was like, oh, great. As it started, I was like, oh, cool. I get the director's commentary. I'm sitting next to that person. Because it went on and she was like, "Whoa, go Maverick." And then for the whole film, she was one of those people who couldn't process her thought in her head without saying it at like speaking room volume. Oh, he's in trouble now. Oh, that must be Goose's son from the first one. Whoopsie. At one point, she's like, "Oh, he's passed out." We know! His eyes rolled into the back of his head. His plane's about to hit the ground. We know what's happened. Couldn't believe it.
What a horrible human.
Ruined it for me. Completely ruined it for me. Who were you stuck next to? 13, 24, 10. Maybe it was at the movies. Maybe it was on a plane, God forbid, for like 7, 8 hours.
I was on the plane that time, stuck next to that person, and they were using my cup as a rubbish bin. Remember that?
You're not allowed to reach over.
No.
Onto someone else's table.
Get out of my zone. You're in the danger zone right now.
I sat next to a rather gassy woman on the way home from Abu Dhabi once.
Oh, really?
That was fun. Oof. It's before everyone wore masks on the plane as well. God. I was actually...
You were praying for the pandemic.
Tell me about it. I was tempted to actually pull the little oxygen one down to try and have a little bit of fresh air. It's Brandon from Windvale. Who were you stuck next to?
Yeah, my missus and I were flying back from Doha a few years ago. So coming back from England, we had landed in Doha, and then back from Doha to South Australia.
Yeah.
And the funny part of it is my missus was about 7 months pregnant at the time and just couldn't tolerate anything.
Yeah.
And I was sat next to this really big, really heavy set, really thick Italian man, and 2 rows over was his friend. And for the entire flight, they were just yelling in Italian to each other.
Yeah.
And it was the hardest part. And then the stewardess came over a few times and actually told them to be quiet because they were annoying the entire flight.
Yeah. Could you at any point, though, have, like, swapped so that they were sitting next to each other and then you weren't in the middle of them?
Well, it was quite funny. So there was only one available seat on the flight left. And because of how upset my partner got, she was the lucky one that got moved to the end of the plane. But I had to sit there and then endure it for the next 8 hours.
You were trying to join in? Emma joins us now from Happy Valley. Emma, who were you stuck next to?
Hey, boys. So I got to have a lovely trip with my partner and family to Luna Park.
Yeah.
And we got to go on one of those 3D rides. The seat moves. It's such a long movie. It was great.
Yep.
Except for the lady that they decided to put next to me.
What were they doing?
The whole 10 first minutes, she was screaming. I should not have gotten here. I should not have come. And
It's too much for her.
proceeded to turn to me and vomit all over my lap.
Well, this is just like
Vacant seat next to her.
Shrek 4D or something like that. The movie where
Yeah, not good at all.
Ben and Liam is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.